The Trading for Impact policy recognises the huge contribution of social enterprises, and these are businesses that put people and communities before profit. They create jobs and support the most marginalised and drive local development and indeed climate action. So the policy sets out welcome goals on awareness and sustainability and the green transition, engagement and impact measurement. However, the policy falls short as there's no clear legal framework. It's leaving social enterprises in a grey zone. No long-term funding model, just short-term grants that block actual growth. There are 57 actions but little guarantee of resources. And for example, the policy recognises the work of the Community Services Programme, which supports community-based organisations providing an annual co-funding contribution towards the cost of employing a manager or an admin worker or a caretaker, with one of its core aims being to promote and encourage social enterprises to become self-sustainable. So this programme, the Community Services Programme, is invaluable to those who can access it. However, there is a disparity in allocation of the funding through this programme. So I'm very concerned that County Cavan has the second lowest spend per head of population on community service programmes, as it only has 4 active CPS projects, whereas neighbouring counties have many more. For example, Monaghan has 11, Leitrim has 17 and Roscommon have 19. So I'm just wondering why this is happening. I'm unclear as to what the issue is, but it's something I'm hoping it could be addressed. Funding for staff available through the CSP is crucial to the sustainable growth of any social enterprise, but not all social enterprises meet their criteria. So an example I'm going to give is the Cottage Market in Cavan, and it's a social enterprise. It provides a supportive route to market for small-scale growers and food producers, crafters, artists and community groups. So you can either attend one of their events or go online and you can order the local green box, which is full of produce of your choosing from farmers and food makers in Cavan and the border counties, which you can then collect in either Cavan Town or Ballyconnell on a Friday. So their online farmers market and seasonal events represent what's local to Cavan and surrounding areas, and they are committed to creating local futures and building a sustainable, planet-friendly community, but they don't meet the criteria for CSP funding for staff. In light of this, they've been directed towards the TUS and CE schemes, but they're either full or, because the Cottage Market Cavan doesn't have a permanent business location, they cannot avail of their support. So the Cottage Market in Cavan is recognised as a fantastic organisation for the county. They are continually asked to run events. They work extensively with all the agencies in Cavan, so you have with Cavan County Local Development, with the Leo, with Cavan County Council, Leader, etc. But it's extremely challenging for them to continue without funds for staffing. And that's just one example of a social enterprise in Cavan and of the difficulties it faces. There are many others in similar situations, just falling short of the different criteria within the different schemes. So enterprises like these need staffing support in the first 3 to 5 years in order to be able to survive and become sustainable into the future. Sources of funding for social enterprise need to be more flexible so that they can respond to the specific needs of each individual social enterprise. Otherwise, we run the risk of losing them from our communities, and that would be a significant loss. So in conclusion, I welcome the recognition of social enterprises, but I feel words are not enough. Communities need real delivery, they need proper investment, they need legislation that values social enterprises central to tackling inequality, building rural and regional economies and driving the green transition. Social enterprises are already leading the way, from childcare to recycling, from housing to renewable energy. But what they need now is certainty, support and respect. So Sinn Féin will continue to press for a stronger framework so that social enterprises can thrive and deliver for all our communities. So while I welcome the policy, it needs to be much more specific in what resources it is offering to social enterprises in our communities.